Hey people, Intro here, February 3, Faction War. This is Fendunlock and Orks versus Imperial Guard. For the Blue Orc team, ChunkyCoates and a Mekboy, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat with a bunch of orky gadgets alongside SuperMegaUltraPanda with a Warboss, a melee hero walking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. This is the Goths elite scheme, I think. And rounding off the team for the Orks, Stalker and a Commando knob. An infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you, and blows you up. Orky style begins with a twin link shooter. This may also be the Goths elite scheme. On the red team, it's triple Commissars. First up is Finale. We have Detour with the Armageddon Steel Legion, and Thatyoinkysploinky, also Armageddon Steel Legion. These are melee heroes, powerful offense and support, beginning with a shield, can shoot their own fellas in the head to encourage them. Lots of Daka already. Anyone getting on the mid? Some Orks are here. Well, who was getting shot? Finale? I think Finale was getting shot. His shield is down. Double shooters for all of the Orc players, so they can try and gun down these Sentinels. No Sentinel though for Detour, going triple Guardsman. This is the southeast corner here. Power point contested. There's also natural powers towards the east and the south. War Banner is activated for the long-term buff, and they'll probably push off that. Warboss getting pretty low, does get away. Sluggers also getting pretty low in the mid. Here come more Orks though. A whole battery of lasguns though going against them. Sluggers making a push. In on the Commissar, throws his shield up. Stomp is in for the Sentinel with the ground pound. It's going to hit those Sluggers. Boom, there it is. A little bit of damage, knocked back on a stun. Very nice. Good hit. Wipes the Sluggers, and those Sluggers, yeah, look, they got their burners up as they were dying. That was a completely wasted purchase by ChunkyCoates. Shooter Boys, did they wipe? Oh no, they got away. Shooter Boys barely making it out, as well as a rough first engagement for ChunkyCoates. Would have spent 15 power on those burners and then they died. Sentinel just trading here. Back to the southeast. Some repairs for this Sentinel. Commissar not wanting to make a push against all of these shooters, all this Daka. Sluggers hanging back for now. So the Guard are going to take the mid. Multi-last turret is up, doing some good anti-infantry damage. Warboss comes in, gets very excited, does a stomp for some reason, and there's a special attack. The stomp didn't hit anything, well maybe it hit the Sentinel. Sentinel's getting quite low. Now getting double repaired, triple repaired. Warboss is still in there. There's a stomp, does hit him. Commissar shows up, this is Detour. Not sure where Finale is. Finale's back at base. And it looks like the Guard are pushing forward, edging forward on this southeast corner too. These guards will need to start moving. Trying to get that War Banner down. Storm Boys are in for Stalker. Panda goes triple shooters. And ChunkyCoates has not replaced those Sluggers or got anything else up yet. Oh, does have electric armor. So it's spent on that. And that could make a big difference to the fight. So electric shock, just damaging all the stuff around him. Bad news for Guardsmen, who tend to blob up. Storm Boys jumping in. These guys with power melee weapons, which won't do extra against the regular infantry of the Guardsmen, but will do extra versus the heavy infantry Sentinel. Good versus heroes as well, especially low-level heroes. Mekboy's in there, just meleeing stuff, keeping it tied up. Did not use his electric shock because it would have drained his energy and wouldn't have been able to teleport around. Storm Boys now jumping down here. Commissar's there to say hello, and they run. Sluggers also run. What's the Warboss up to? He's getting pissed. Now I'm angry with Angry Bits. Hasn't used it yet. Commissar gets shot down. That was Thatyoinkysploinky. This is Detour with shield up. Again suppressed by aiming what's that, and now he runs on the power a bit. Hadachans popping their smoke for some defense, giving suppression immunity and some, I think it's 50% damage resistance. It's pretty nice. That's a stun bomb from the Commando. Stunned a whole bunch of stuff. They got one gen down and they decided to leave. I think that was smart. Can they hold the mid though? Because a bunch of Orks are coming in here. How much work can that multi-last turret and the Sentinel do? This guy's behind some heavy cover. Finale. Got half an XP bar. Thatyoinkysploinky getting some more Guardsmen. Hadachans in for Detour and Yoinkysploinky as well. Still nothing for ChunkyCoates. I was thinking maybe he'll get his death gun and then just go tier 2. Storm Boys jump in. Maybe taking out the Commissar. Yes, Commissar down. Stomp comes in. It's a pretty good one. Do you also have it? Yeah, they both have it. Sentinel's level 2. He's done a lot of good work, this Sentinel of Finale. How's this one been doing? It's halfway through level 1. Stun bomb. Stuns the guardsman. But they still repair, look. Paddington's looking for melee. They're pretty good in melee, but they don't have a melee charge and that kind of thing. And they go down. So I was going to say, so they are maybe a bit slow getting into melee sometimes. They don't have that little melee charge. But they were taken out on retreat. Detour still has one for the disruption. Very good at disruption as well. Meanwhile, Sentinel doing some decapping. This guy can decap but cannot cap points. He might go for that natural VP with some guardsmen maybe. Coming from an angle, get the power touched a bit. Back to the mid. Lots of Daka on the multi-laser turret. Down it goes. Commissar has Power Sword and Carapace for Detour. Gives him a nice chunk of hit points. Makes his Inspire Courage into Unyielding Courage, which buffs him. Lowers the cost and the cooldown and all sorts of things. Finale doesn't have any war gear yet. But the Power Sword is so good. With a speed bonus and disruption and a buff all tied into one. Doesn't help if you're off the field though. Warboss chases him off. Can maybe get onto the power. With a whole bunch of Daka for Panda. All fully upgraded with the Shooter Boy, with Shooter, Knob Leader, and the big shooters as well. Huge amounts of Daka. Look at that for a power bash. Not bad, eh? Got a decap here. Thanks, I think, to the Sentinel. Maybe it was the Guardsman, whoever it was. They got it. Mekboy runs. Got a bit of war gear. Any war gear for you, buddy? Nope. Level 2 Commando, though, innit? Picks off models quite quickly with his gun. Can they get a revive on this guy? It's going to be tricky. All the gens down here. Didn't get the node. Warboss running interference, but now may need to run all together. The Stomp didn't knock down the Commissar because he's got his shield up, which just made the Warboss angrier. Now he has to run away. He's super pissed. Still got all these Shooter Boys in play though, Panda. Sluggers are not in play. These guys trying to back up. Find some help maybe. Here's Night Stalker shooters, but they're leaving. Turn around with a whole bunch of Daka. Commissar backs off. Here comes another one. This is Finale. Oh, I guess he was downed at some point. Did we see that? Maybe we saw that already because he's got no indicator anymore. Detour maybe revived him and got a chunk of XP for it. This guy's still down on the enemy power. Not easy to get to him. Tier 2's coming in. In fact, Stormtroopers coming in for Finale. Already got double of Stormtroopers up. Probably both with the Assault Kit. Open up with that big burst damage. But if he's expecting a Death Dread or something, he may wait on one of them. Oh hey, a Psycho coming in for Detour. We'll start with the Terrifying Visions. And the Telekinetic Dome, I think. 393 to 481. There's that Electric Shock. Suppressing the Stormtroopers with aiming. What's that? Here comes the Commissar tab, although he's not happy. Tying them up. Did a bunch of damage to the Guardsmen. Didn't kill many models. The shooters couldn't quite get on them. This guy's got a big shooter now. And he's got his proximity mines. Tier 2 for ChunkyCoates. This guy's alright. I think he's alright. Meanwhile, to the southeast, we've got Missile Launcher Sentinel here. Can switch between frag and crack missiles for anti-infantry and anti-vehicle purposes. Warboss with Now I'm Angry up. See that yellow hexagon there, but he's off the field now. Are the sluggers in here? Oh, the sluggers. Oh, they're capping mid. Sentinel will take some shots at them, but I think they should be able to finish that cap. These are also Night Stalker shooters. There's so many of them in here. Here come Ogrins though. With super heavy infantry armor, they can shrug off a bunch of piercing damage from these shooters. Are getting suppressed though. They don't have a way to break suppression. So they are forced off. They don't want the power melee Storm Boys chopping them up too. You just saw, was that Strip Soul? That was Strip Soul, I think, there. There's a Telekinetic Dome, which does provide protection against ranged and melee attacks. Needs to get an upgrade for the Strip Soul. Terrifying Visions suppresses things, and Strip Soul just slows it down altogether, ignoring suppression. I guess you can chain them together too. Weird Boy on the way for ChunkyCoates. Weird Boy already on the field for Night Stalker. Should make a big difference against these big infantry armies, especially the Ogrins. They're not going to like that big stun if they can pull it off. They power bash? They did fully power bash, actually. Storm Boys have their knob leader now. Maybe able to time a jump to stun the Ogrins, maybe. Or just go into the back line and stun all that stuff, but they may want to just kill Ogrins instead. Warboss charging in with Now I'm Angry. Getting a health regen on the other buffs and stuff. But it's forced off. They're dealing with him quite well, actually. He kind of ran into that stomp, eh? He needs to avoid that sentinel because the stomp really messes him up. Commissar's decapping stuff. There's that Psyker. I can't see all the upgrades he's got, but you can tell he's got at least one because he's got the plus icon on his indicator there. Some guardsmen leveling up. Ogrins on the rampage, running into some Shooter Boys, which is a good fight for them. That was the Foot of Gork. Don't think it hit too much. That was from this Weird Boy over here. Warhead. Lots more Daka. Mekboy is going to get taken out. He's trying to get in there for electric shock, maybe. So the Psyker has a really nice basic attack, like psychic attack that bounces. And there's that dome. I think it's 25% range damage resistance. And like 15% melee damage resistance. Also gives you some melee skill. Oh, Ogren's wiped. So as I was about to say, it's really good used on Ogrins if they get caught in like a big melee fight. But now they're dead. Manticore strike. Manticore's really close. Artillery piece where you need to manually target each rocket, but it can do some really powerful hits for you. Warboss going for Power Claw now, so he can use the Now I'm Angry to get close to the Manticore and then crunch it into pieces with the Power Claw. 297 to 481. Basically non-stop skirmishes here. Can they get the Sentinel down? They can. Sentinel drops, so they're both off the field now. More Ogrins for Detour. More Stormtroopers for Yoinky and a bit of a lull in the action. Commando capping mid. Warboss getting that wreck point. They're not going for power right now, though. Mekboy levels to what? To 2. He's going to chuck some mines out. Suppress infantry and slow vehicles by 70%. There's going to be 4 Stormtroopers on the field. That's a lot of burst damage from long range, although they don't have the Lord General to boost range even more. Chimera's Psyker does have a bit of hit points. XP, I mean. He could use the Ethereal Wave later to like mess with Knob Squads as well if they appear. Although it's useful against any infantry just messing it up. Disrupting it, especially these big lines of Shooter Boys we're seeing. Still got 6 Shooter Boys on the field, and I think they're all fully upgraded. Coates goes tier 3, so does Night Stalker. Finale, already there. He's got a lot of resources. He's going straight for a super heavy tank by the looks of it. Maybe the Storm Lord for all the anti-infantry. But the Baneblade is so good. He's got that Demolisher Cannon. And good weaponry against everything, basically. 290 to 443. Some zap jumping around from the Weird Boy back there. Ogrin's mixing it up. The front line drawing in damage. The zap gets rid of all that stuff. Now the Ogrins are alone. And they have to flee. Oh, Foot of Gork over there too. Weird Boy's making a massive difference already. There's 3 of them, so you would expect it. Those War Banners are in an awkward spot for the red team to bash. 290 to 443. Warboss goes charging in, level 3. Can you hit him? It's one fella. And now Power Claw time. Oh, it does a special attack. Hits that one fella again. That was a stomp. Then kills one. Now going after the Commissar here with no war gear on that Commissar, so he's not going to have a good time. Look at the damage he's taking per hit. Goes down. Warboss runs. He should have got, yeah, he got a decent chunk of XP for that. Here comes a Stormlord for Finale. That's the more anti-infantry focused super heavy tank. We'll see how it does. Does allow it to reinforce up it too, which is a big deal. 2-1 for red, which is the guard team. Can the Commando get rid of this guy? Level 2, no war gear. Oh, he's got some backup. Commando, in fact, is ignoring him. Mekboy with some Daka. VP was decapped. This Commando's going straight for the opposing VP, maybe. 269 to 443. There's the ethereal wave. Didn't seem to do much though. Does it knock stuff down? Does it just do damage now? Foot of Gork chucked in there. Saka runs away. Ogrin is doing what they can, disrupting things with user red. And now the Manticore's under fire. Weird Boy got a good shot on it there. And they take it down on the rear armor. I think they're going to. Unless the Weird Boy does friendly fire. No, they got it. Manticore's down. Here's the Stormlord. With a Vulcan Mega Bolter. Heavy bolters, las cannons, all sorts of good stuff. And he can reinforce off it. Even jump inside. Can't retreat back to it though. I don't think it provides any health regen either. Kassakin coming in for Finale. Tier 3 for Detour. Tier 3 for ThatyoinkySploinky. Tier 3 for Panda. So they're all going to be there. Warboss going straight after this thing. Rear armor hit there from the Weird Boy. Commissar trying to run interference. Okay, Weird Boy, the Warboss, sorry, is persuaded to leave. Should be able to get the mid back here. It's a good dome. Buffing all that stuff. Shooter Boy's wiped. He may have been intentionally letting them wipe their ChunkyCoates, I'm not sure. Didn't have much else though. Sometimes the players will let their Shooter Boys die in tier 3 to free up some population and requisition upkeep to get fancier things on the field. Rocks was chucked in. Everything ran. And the Orks hold the mid. Battle Wagon coming up for ChunkyCoates. What can the Stormlord do here? It's a target-rich environment for it. Oh, it suppressed those guys. Now it's shooting at these sluggers. Suppressing them. They're taking a lot of damage, but they're not dropping models very quickly. Dropped one. And now get away. There's only one model loss. 237 to 379 on the VPs. VP got uncapped over there, decapped. And now Commando Knob with rocket launcher. Mekboy's down. Stick bombers on the way. Got some most likely repair Gretchens, yep. Repair crew Gretchens to help support this battle wagon. 237 to 349. Kassakin with no weapon upgrade are running away. Might see them with their grenade launchers in the mid to disrupt things. Warboss. Oh, no. Charges a bit, then runs off. Two Weird Boys here. Need to get some energy back though. Chucked in the zap. They have huge energy bars, the Weird Boys, because their abilities are really expensive and they need to use, well, they need to be around Orks that use War to get energy back. A little bit of kind of admin you need to do with them. Stormlord is okay. He's in a bit of an odd spot. Rotating around, sometimes taking rear armor hits. Battle Wagon is okay, I think. Charges out. Ogrins can smack it to death with their heavy melee, and they're getting a lot of good hits actually. Here's the Commando. Can he get some shots on the Stormlord? He can. Weird Boy tried to vomit on the Ogrins, only hit one of them. Now he's getting stuck. Ogrins are bludgeoning him to death. Down he goes, exploded. All the psychic energy explodes when he dies. Commando runs. Got some good hits on the Stormlord though. Big running battle in the mid. Do we have stick bombers? We do. They're in there. Chucking stun bombs at the moment on the vehicle. VPs are quite even. 237 to 288. Some repairs for the battle wagon. Sluggers can repair, so can the Gretchens, although I don't know where the Gretchens are. I think they're inside the battle wagon, aren't they? Yeah, they are. They just got out there, look. Now they're trying to repair. And I assume Gretchens are small or tiny, so they're harder to hit with the ranged weapons. Here comes the Nob Squad. Nob Leader on the way. Still has power melee weapons though, so they can't do much to the Stormlord. They can try, I suppose. That was a big zap gun shot. And here comes the Commando with that rocket launcher. They're going after it, even though they have power melee axes. Not the heavy melee hammers. Some flash kits are in as well for Night Stalker. The huge damage potential of the Orc tier 3 starting to come to bear. And pressing back the guard. They do have some Bullgrins up, thanks to Detour. Still got these Ogrins too. Oh, these are new Ogrins, I guess. Yeah, getting their boned leader. And Ogrins and Bullgrins are very useful against Nob Squads. They can disrupt and suppress them, depending on what kind of gin you have. Lord Commissar with Fist of Brockers too. There it is. None shall fall on the Ogrins. Warboss goes straight after him. No, knows he needs to focus him down when that is active. Ogrins knocking him over. Lots of Daka. Oh, now he's fighting the Ogrins, I think. Should be fighting that Commissar. Gets taken out. Gets taken out. This Commissar leveled. This is Detour with his sword. ChunkyCoates getting revived. Looks like he's trying to get a sword of his own. Now he's up. Because it's disruption, you know. And disruption's very good against Nob Squads. Here is a Stormblade. That big plasma blast gun. Which sounds like an Orc name for a gun. We just call it a blast gun, apparently. Meanwhile, Bullgrins are smacking a node. Another Stormlord on the way, says ChunkyCoates. No Baneblades, eh? Baneblades are bloody good. Because that Demolisher Cannon is kind of underrated, I think. It's so nice to have that big explosion you can do. Speaking of big explosions, that's what the Stormblade can do. Got some las cannons and heavy bolters as well. Oh, that one didn't fire. Stormlord is being repaired. Another Nob Squad for ChunkyCoates. Did these guys get the hammers? Oh, they do have the hammers, okay. Now they have that heavy melee damage with the momentum building up. There was some talk of reverting that change and just giving them heavy melee from the outset again. I quite like them coming out with power melee weapons, but I don't really have like a case for it. It just feels good. Warboss and the Nob Squad going on to the Stormlord. Here come Ogrins to try and help. These guys are getting suppressed by these super heavy tanks, making them pop their Frenzy. Frenzy gives them suppression immunity and damage resistance, but it doesn't last, it lasts 8 seconds, I think. Warboss down. So if you can make them use their Frenzy early by suppressing them early, it can make a huge difference to a Nob Squad fight. And the Bullgrins will be able to do that as well with their User Shield. I'm not sure where the Bullgrins are though. Okay, these guys got dealt with. Warp Vomit gets one of the Ogrins. Now they go after the Battle Wagon. Stormlord just killed the Mekboy, I think. Here come a bunch of flash kits. Those blasters are not effective against vehicles because they do psychic damage, but very effective against that Ogrin squad. Good against heavier infantry, but infantry in general aren't going to like them. Are all the weird boys alive? No, Panda did not replace his yet. I don't think anyway. Maybe it's off the roster. Off the army panel there. 237 to 182. What is all this? Two super heavy tanks is what it is. I guess they were trying to power bash the Orks over here. Holding the mid though, the Orks. 237 to 176. These guys need to be closer to repair, surely. That's kind of might want to move up a bit as well. Rocket launchers here. Getting some good volleys. And there should be like a repair bunker behind the wall, you would think, at some point. These guys still hanging out over here. That was an overcharge shot. Disables the weapons for 5 seconds. But you get a bigger shot off it. Battle wagon with 3 units inside. Is it just shooter boys inside? Mekboy, no, not the Commando, is getting a revive. There we go. Warboss might need to run. He's off. He's level 5 for Warboss. So it might be time for him to get that heavier armor in, eh? 237 to 145. This is the battle wagon of Panda. Getting a bit close to some Ogrins, but a Warp Vomit saves it. And another warp vomit there. Very cool. Chaining them together. Look how long they're locked down by before. Here's the other battle wagon. Where are the other tanks? What is this guy doing? This guy's trying to make his way around back to the mid. That's a rocket run. Some decent hits on the Weird Boy. Another rocket run. And a Rock's chucked in. Absolute bedlam. Two, 3-7 to 1-1-5. Just destroyed the building and all the walls that were here. So much for protecting the bunker. Nob squad on the rampage. The guard army's looking a little bit depleted now. That's a lot of damage on that Nob squad though. With 2 Stormlords here, good grief. And we had some Kashyyyk in there too. Another Rocks. To bash the power, I guess. Might have hit the Stormlord a bit as well. Got 2 of the gens. This Stormlord's getting low. Oh, there's tank busters here. With Warpath support. They can chase it really well. Stormlord down. Steal this guy up. Not sure where is the Stormblade? Back here. What's it doing? Down to 83 VPs. The guard, are they just getting overwhelmed here? Tank buster barrage coming in. So much damage. Another rocket run. Second run wasn't so great, but the first one was good. Here's the Warboss getting his heavy armor, making him way more survivable. And they get some... Oh, there's a Nob squad looking after this, look. Very difficult for the guard to get back into this. Thatyoinkysploinky, I don't think has time to recover. We do have a Leman Russ. Gone for Executioner. There's some Ogryns there. There's no Bullgryns. Can they brute force the mid a bit? Flash kits here. Just disintegrating some Stormtroopers. Still a 2-1 for the Orks. Some mines dropped in. That was a nice shot. Stick bombers didn't seem to get hit though. Stun bombs are dodged, I think. Down to 35 VPs. They need to make a run for the mid. These guys are going to get a decap here, are they? Oh, they're going for a wreck point. Commissar goes for the cap. Only level 3 though with the shield up. It's going to be very difficult. Can he just get a decap? It's going to be so tough. Can't get a decap. Goes down. Mob squad on the super heavy tanks. Stun bombs going in. Tank buster barrages going in. And the Commandos there too. Barrages. They survived it for now. Down to 4 VPs. The Stormblade goes down. Looks like the Stormlord is going to survive. But the Orks just overrunning them at the end. They tried to build a front line with the Ogryns and the Bullgryns, just couldn't quite bring that together. The Commissars were going down quite often as well, so they didn't get the levels they needed, I think. Detour did well, got level 6. But I think they needed that strong front line to deter the Nobs with the Ogryns and the Commissars and stuff. Maybe some more heavy weapon squads in there, a bunch of Stormtroopers died as well. Like, it's just tough when you're getting stunned by Weird Boys and all of the upfront damage that the Orks can bring. Had a level 5 mech. Oh, we had Mega Rumbler. We had a level 6 Warboss, over 2,000 hit points with heavy armor. They were dealing with him well early with the Sentinels, but he did grow in influence as the game went on. Level 7 Commando with that devastating rocket launcher. The Commissars were 4, 6 for Detour, and Thatyoinkysploinky was 3. Look at the state of the map on the mid here. Thank you all for watching, guys. Big thanks to these players for taking part in a faction war. I think it was Panda who sent this in. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see ya next time.